Hi, this is George Alger. Welcome to today's segment of Our Ventura TV. Today we're going to be speaking about trash in sustainable living. And joining us is environmental activist Rob Greenfield. Welcome, Rob. And what does this mean, trash in sustainable living?
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. Nice to see you all there in Ventura. Well, what I've been doing for the last month is living like the average person, just eating, shopping, consuming, just like the average person does. But the catch is I've had to wear every single piece of trash that I've created. And the reason why is I want to create a visual that helps people to ask some questions. Is that what my trash suit would look like if I wore one? How much trash do I create? And where does my trash even go when I put it in the garbage can? So it's about creating that thought and then taking it a step further. How can we live sustainably? How can we actually live in a way where we don't deplete the earth's resources, but instead actually contribute and give back to the earth, humanity, and all of our fellow plant and animal relatives?
Very good. So how do we do that?
Sure. Oh, yeah, we can dive right into that. I like that you're into solutions. So there's many ways that we can do that. One of the biggest ways that I recommend, if you look at so much of the trash that you see here that's been generated from the last month, you'll see that it's a lot of food packaging, a lot of to-go containers, coffee cups, plastic bags. And so one of the big things we can do is start to buy unpackaged whole foods, cooking more of our food, carrying reusable water bottles and coffee cups and bags. And if we have meal to go, bringing our own containers. This is one way, and we can definitely share more ways, but that's one of the basic ways of how you can live in a way that doesn't look like this.
Very good. So speak about some of the reactions you get out in the community.
Sure. Well, it's been a really great month. I've been here in Los Angeles, and I chose Los Angeles because it's one of the consumer capitals of the world, and I wanted to bring this message to the streets here. And so the reaction has been curiosity. What is this guy doing? Intrigue. And so many people, hundreds of people have walked up to me on the street and asked what I'm doing. And I always share the simple answer. I'm just living like the average person and wearing my trash. And you see people's jaws drop because they see in that moment often that I am merely a reflection of them, that for many of them, it's like, wow, that's how much trash that I'm creating. And so there's been that curiosity and intrigue, and then that's led to a wake-up call. For so many people, it's been a wake-up call about the truth behind our trash.
Very good. This is such a remarkable depiction visually. I'm wondering, can you also share some statistics that speak to, the amount of trash that's going on in our world?
Yeah, well, that's exactly why I'm doing this, because for most of us, our trash is out of sight, out of mind. We just throw it in the garbage can and we never think about it again. So the average person actually creates nearly 5 pounds of trash per day, which is 150 pounds per month, which we're talking like somewhere close to a ton of trash per year. And the United States has 5% of the world's population, but we use 25% of the world's resources. So we are very disproportionately consuming the world's resources, trashing it. And my hopes is to wake people up and have people see, like, this is not normal. Now we have these systems that take the trash and it's out of sight, out of mind, but just because we've created great systems that allow us to feel like things are normal. But when you look at global norms, you start to see that what we're doing is actually pretty extreme.
Okay. And does biodegradable packaging fit into this?
Yeah, so I love that you asked that question. And I think people may be wondering, like, what about the smell of this trash suit? So I washed everything before I added it. And food waste, what I did is I replaced that, I weighed it, and I replaced that with dry rice. So that way I would be a visual example, but not a smelly example of our food waste, of our waste. And then toilet paper went down the toilet as usual. So no worries there. And then you'll see that there are recyclable items in here, and there are items that would be technically compostable in here as well. But because the statistic is that 94% of plastics aren't actually recycled, and so much of what's compostable, we don't compost, all of that is into the suit as well.
Very good. Could you elaborate on that point about most of the plastic not being actually recycled?
Sure. Well, see, the thing about the plastic recycling scenario is that it was actually more created by the industries themselves that wanted us to buy their products that would continue making them money. And so our plastic recycling system was never really truly designed to be truly recyclable, to be truly environmentally friendly. It was more designed to continue the plastic flow going and to continue the production and the purchasing of this stuff so corporations would make money. And so when you start to look at the the origins of a lot of it, then of course you're able to question it a little bit more. So the big thing with plastic is it's about breaking free from plastic. The more, when you start to get into the idea of zero waste, it's reduce, reuse, and lastly, recycle. So it's first reduce our plastic as much as possible, find ways that we can not be buying stuff in plastic in the first place.
Very good. So how much of this transition to a more sustainable future do you think falls upon manufacturers or restaurants, grocery stores, basically everyone who's supplying us stuff?
Yeah, well, this is responsibility of everyone. We need systemic change. We need our corporations to change drastically. We need government systems to change drastically, and we need us as individuals to rise up as well. So I believe that we need both top-down and bottom-up approach at the same time. That being said, the top is never going to change if the bottom isn't demanding it. That's us. So it's important that we are educated on this and that we are standing up. And I think one of the most powerful ways that we can stand up is by showing these corporations, look, we can be happy, healthy people without the need for all these consumer items, and to take that power back, to become empowered, and then to be able to stand up to these corporations and demand real change as empowered people.
Very good. Rob, we're just about out of time here. I wonder if you could share a website that viewers could go to for more information, and if you have a summating message for the viewers.
Sure. Well, my website's just robgreenfield.org, and you'll also find me on social media just by typing in my name. And I think the last thing that I would want to say is, for a lot of people, this is overwhelming. I mean, I've been overwhelmed by the amount of trash I've created, and it's just 1 month. A lot of us feel the burden of consumerism on our shoulders. And my recommendation is you have to start just one step at a time if you want to break free from it. One positive change at a time. Take your power back. Take that power back, put it in your community, away from, the corporate agendas, and start with what you're excited about. If you have things that are kind of daunting, don't start with those. Maybe you're really excited to grow some of your own food, or learn to forage, or reduce, reduce your waste. Start with what you're excited about and then grow from there.
Thank you very much, Rob. We're going to wrap up here.
All right, my pleasure.
This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again.